This is Spirit Spotlight.
Bethune cuts in. Bethune now finds Rodman. Flag stays down. Rodman off the post and in. The first shot of the game produces the first goal of the game, and the Spirit go on top.
Your official Washington Spirit source for exclusive interviews, official postgame show, and all things Spirit throughout the season. Here's Bram Weinstein.
This week's Spirit Spotlight features Brittany Ratcliffe of the Washington Spirit as they have the week off and then get set for the regular season finale, where with a win, they'll enter the playoffs as the number 2 seed in the NWSL. Hey, Brittany, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
All right. So this season feels like 4 seasons in one, with coaching changes and different personnel and different lineups and injuries and all of this stuff. So now that we've reached almost the very end of it, at least the regular season part of it, how do you kind of think about what this year's been like?
It's actually, you honestly said it all. 4 seasons in one. It feels like I've been here for a decade. Like this season just seems so long, but like not in a bad way. It's just like we've been here since January and it's October, almost November, and just so much has happened. But it's all good things, you know, like I feel like in the beginning it was a new team, we had a new coach and we were getting to know each other. And then we started building, and then Jonah got here. And then I think you could look at the season, it's in different parts, but at the same time, I feel like we've grown. And I think that's the most important part of a long season is there's waves and stuff. But I feel like if you look back on from where we started and where we are now, we've grown so much both on the field and off the field. And it's a really cool thing to see when you look back and think, oh, wow, in preseason, I didn't even know half these girls. And now it's like movie nights and game nights, you know, so it's really cool to see the growth off the field and obviously on the field. It's been great to see as well, like in terms of performances, people having different roles and all those things. It's been great. It's been long, but it's been great.
You said it felt like a decade. Has it been a good decade?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I think going off of what I said, when you look back on when we first got here and we were doing like preseason stuff, I didn't know we didn't know each other, you know, you didn't know the rookies, you didn't know some free agents, like it was a whole new team. And now when you think back, it's like, wow, that was so long ago, but it's been great. You know, it's been a blessing to be on this team and like build over the past, 8 months.
So the chemistry seemed to have come along quickly. Did you see that or sense that early in the season, or was there a point where it kind of changed and you saw this kind of all come together?
For me, I noticed it right when I first got here. I was like, wow, this is a really good group of people. And that starts with the players, the coaches, the support staff, the medical staff, the marketing staff. Like that was probably my first impression of the Spirit is when I got here is like, wow, these are great human beings. And I think that makes it easy to build chemistry quickly because you don't have to work at it, you know, like you don't have these people that have their own agendas or have egos or bad people. Like everyone here is for the Spirit and they're good people, and it's been really enjoyable. So I think it's been easy. It's been an easy process building chemistry just because everyone here is so great.
Take me through the early part of the season where you were playing a pivotal role coming off the bench. You had your first career brace. You had scored in a couple of games early there. How did you kind of see your role early in the season?
Yeah, I feel like whatever the team needs, that's what I'm here to do, you know? So whether that's starting, coming off the bench, scoring goals, defending when we need to defend, like whatever the team needs of me, that's my job that day, and that's what I have to do.
And then as we've kind of come down the stretch here, there's been a ton of injuries and there's been a lot of moving parts out there. So how have you seen the team kind of hang in there, stick together, and deal with all of the changes that seemingly are happening on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, I think obviously you don't want any injuries. In a perfect world, no one gets hurt, everyone feels 100%, but that wouldn't be professional sports. You know, I feel like even if you're not on the injury report, you have like a little knock or something that you're dealing with. That just comes with the territory. But I think what's good about this team is that everyone that knows their role can change and knows that on any given day you will be called upon and you have to take care of business. But I think the reason it's easy for us, not easy, I don't want to say easy, but the reason that we can make all of these changes and pretty much be fluid in who's playing, who's starting, playing different positions. The reason it can be so fluid is I do think like our training sessions prepare us to be ready for anything. They're super detailed, super like, hey, in this situation, we need to do this. And if you're practicing every day and preparing, then when game day comes, it won't be a surprise. And so I think that comes with the practices. And I also think it comes with the personality that we support one another on the field every day of practice, so that when game day comes, like, hey, like she did well in this game because we practiced hard this week. Like I defended you hard so that when the game comes, like you're able to attack in the way that you want to attack. So I think game day is our performance, but it is worked on in practice and it builds to game day, but it all happens on the training ground.
And it's not just injuries, it's the type of injuries you all have taken here. It really is remarkable that you're still sitting in the standings where you are. I mean, early Ule Sarr was the finisher of the team. She's missed time. Croy Bethune was having one of the best rookie seasons anyone's ever had. All of a sudden, she's out. Andy Sullivan's been a glue of the organization for a very long time. She's out. Trinity Rodman's missing time. Yet you guys still find a way. It's really impressive what's happening here.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's terrible having people out. Like we miss everyone who's out because everyone is a huge part of the team. And it stinks, you know, you want everyone to be healthy, but I think it gives others the opportunity to have a bigger impact, whether that's on the field or whether that's like a leadership role, a vocal role. It gives people opportunities like, hey, like this person A isn't here. Someone needs to step up, you know? But I think it also, for the players who are out, just because they're not on the field doesn't mean that they're not with us. So whether that's if someone gets hurt and then someone who's healthy has to, I think someone who is hurt, they have to adapt their role in another way. And I think the players who have been injured have done a really good job of like supporting us at practice and doing what they need to do so that they can get back and help us. But their support has been amazing. They're always cheering for us, always there for us. So even though they're not on the field, it's like they're still there. It's like they're still with us.
You've had a really great long career. It started in this league in Boston and Kansas City and Utah, then another Kansas City and then North Carolina, and now here. Why did you want to come to Washington? What brought you here?
Yeah, there were a lot of reasons. I'm from New Jersey, and so Washington is much closer to my mom and dad, only child. Can't be away from home for too long. So it's like a 3-hour drive, so it's not too far. I actually played club soccer for Baltimore, and I went to school at the University of Virginia. So the DMV area has always had like a special place in my heart. It's always kind of been like my home away from home. And then in terms of soccer and the organization, you just see what the Spirit is doing with what Michelle Kang is doing is just next to none. Like you can tell that she wants to invest in women's sports and she wants to grow the game and she wants to grow our team. And from an outsider's perspective, I was like, wow, like that's really cool. That's something I want to be a part of. But I will say when I got here, it made it all worth it because like I said, from day one, everyone, even before day one, even like coming into preseason camp, everyone was so friendly. Like, hey, do you need anything? The girls were like, hey, this is my phone number. The support staff was like, hey, this is what you need to do. And then when I got there, everyone was like, hey, where are you from? How are you doing? And it just was so, you felt so welcomed. And I always get emotional when I think about it because this organization is full of great human beings. So from the outside, I was like, okay, I can be closer to home. I can be at a good organization. But then when I got here, I was like, oh yeah, like this is it. This is the place.
You know, it's really interesting you say that because we talked to Casey Kruger earlier this year, also in her first year with this team, has a great long career in soccer. And she basically said the same thing, that there's something extremely supportive about this group, that there seems to be an understanding of the needs of female athletes that maybe is different with this group. So I sense you feel the same way playing here.
Yeah, I think in terms of athletes and female athletes, they're always trying to to understand what will be advantageous for an athlete, whether that's small gains, whether that's, hey, drinking an extra bottle of water for whatever reason, that will help you perform the next day. And it's just the little things that this organization is always trying to improve on. And I feel like there's like a saying that if you get 1% better each day over the long run, it pays off. And I think the Spirit does a really good job of doing the little things every day right, so that in the long run, that the little things all pay off. But you definitely feel so cared for every day. People are always like, hey, how's it going? Like, for you. And sometimes you don't even have to ask. Sometimes like, hey, here's an extra Gatorade. Here's an extra whatever. Like, you need this to recover. And it's like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't even ask for this, but perfect. Like, it's you feel really taken care of. And honestly, like, all of that aside, even if all of that wasn't here, the people are just, they're next to none. They're such good people and good human beings. Like, we're all friends, and whether you've been here 10 years, 1 year, whether you're a boss or not a boss, like, everyone gets along and everyone's friends, and it's like a little family.
The last regular season match is next week. Obviously, you guys are hosting a playoff game no matter what. How much does the standings mean to you all, whether you'd be second or potentially as low as fourth, dependent on the outcome next week?
Yeah, obviously, you want to finish as high as you can. That's the competitor in all of us. In terms of like paying attention to the standings, like, we have to pat ourselves on the back. We've done well. We've done what we needed to do to put ourselves in a position to host at least one game. And so that's really great. But what matters to us is the performances. Are we putting out a good performance? Are we doing the things we need to do? Are we playing how we want to play? I think that's really important. But in terms of hopefully finishing second, we want to play in front of our fans at Audi. Audi is such an amazing stadium. I've always thought that. It's the way it's shaped, the field, like the atmosphere, and our fans have done a really good job of showing up for us. And every game, there's so many people there, and you look up and you're like, wow, like, you feel so supported. And it's just great. I think wherever we finish in the table, all that matters to us is that we show up that day and do what we need to do, work on the things we need to work on, improve, play our style. So no matter where we finish in the table, all that matters to us is that we put on a good performance.
But obviously winning next week means potentially, instead of one playoff home game, two. So I assume that is a really big deal in your mind if that happens.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to finish as high as you can, host as many games as you can, because you don't want to travel. You want to play in your home field. You want to defend your home turf. That's what you want. So yeah, it is huge. It's going to be a really important game, but all that matters to us is that we put on a good performance and we play in a way that we can be proud of.
So the Spirit are having this great resurgent season. We'll see where it goes. There's one knock on you I've heard. I'm very proud to be the voice of the Spirit. I'm also the voice of the Commanders, and I've heard that you are a rival of ours. So since the DMV is such a big part of your life, can we ever convert you away from the dark green side up of New Jersey and Philadelphia?
Oh, my friend, that will never happen.
It's fine.
You can wish all you want, but that will never happen. I love the DMV, but you will never see me in a Commanders jersey. I don't think I can get to the. But I will. I do support. I will be like, hey, you know what? I hope the Commanders win, but if Philadelphia is playing the Commanders, I don't know. It's tough.
Well, you can cheer for us when we beat Philadelphia. It's okay. It'd be okay.
You'll get
I appreciate it. All right, Brittany, good luck the rest of the season. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you guys play in the playoffs in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you so much. Thanks again.
This has been Spirit Spotlight, an official presentation of the Washington Spirit Radio Network. Listen live every Friday afternoon with Bram Weinstein at 3:40 on ESPN 630 in DC and anywhere from the ESPN 630 app.